What is up, everybody? We are live. Apparently, Underdog's website is currently not working correctly. So we will try to figure out what's going on there. My phone app is working just fine, but anytime I try to join here on the browser, it's doing this. So hopefully this gets fixed. Um, Not sure why, but it literally just did this a second ago. I'm going to close down the app on my phone as well and see if it is completely down or if it's just the web page. No, it's just the web page. The web pages are not working. Is this just for me? Are the rest of you having this issue? Did the app just break? Okay, so good deal. That's fun. I guess while we're doing that, we will talk about all the craziness that has been going on today because it's been a day in the news. Why is it making that weird lobby? I don't know. But so number one, Rashee Rice gets a date, but it's not before the season. That is really weird, really odd. I did a lot of research before the draft with the what why did it change that? There we go. I did a lot of research before the draft about Rashee Rice and what was going on with it, and like if there was a like how often they suspended people midseason and all that. And from what I could find, I couldn't find a time that they ever suspended anybody midseason. There were times people served suspension, like from something legal that wasn't like a DUI midseason. Generally, like with the Alvin Kamara case and some other cases, they let it all play out, and even if it finished before the season, they wait until the next year for the beginning of the season to suspend people. Now, I have no idea now what's going on. I read the Drew Davenport tweet. He seems like it's a bad thing, and it could be. It could just be that the NFL wants to make an example. We don't know. We have another month to figure out what's going on there. As Willie knows, Quinshon Judkins, no charge at all. So that's also wild. So Quinshon back to the moon. He still missed a lot of training camp. It'll probably take him a little bit longer. Like he's probably not going to walk into that role day one like we were expecting him to after the draft. Also, Bestball on call. Is yours working yet? Because mine still doesn't seem to be working. Rashee will get a performance-based suspension if he's cooking. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so in a Husky last night, I passed on Quinshon at pick 200 because we already took the gamble on Joe Mixon. So we took the gamble on Joe Mixon, and then Judkins was sitting there at 200. And I was like, if he comes back around in round 18, we can't not take it. So that feels bad. But just the main login screen, the net. Okay. I'm going to close that down. Try it again. Is it working in Mozilla? So it's working for me on Mozilla, but it's not working for me Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not working at all. I I had 15%, right? Like, and I had a really bad season last year with like negative news during the season. I didn't want to load up like a lot, and I also like bit the dip on injury players last year, like Hollywood Brown, the Jalen Warren dip, the Jonathan Brooks, like because for a while they were saying he should be ready by week 6 or 7. Uh, I bought all those dips, and every one of those turned out bad. So I was just kind of avoiding negative news. Uh, I mean, Mozilla has always been superior and will always be superior. Like, we all know that. Um, so I cannot get into underdog. So we will just chat a little bit. Sorry, everybody. I would love to be drafting right now. So other news, Sam Laporta got hurt today. Yeah, I fell all the way down to like 12% Judkins. I mixed him in at like 150-ish. Like whenever he got to 150, I would take him, basically. I just did that in the smaller contest though. Well, I was logged in, and when I refreshed to go back to the main page, it crashed on me. My app, the app on my phone is working perfectly fine, but the app on the browser is not working at all on either browser. The Mozilla at least allowed me to load up the screen to try to log in. Google isn't even that nice. So, but yeah, Sam Laporta, undisclosed injury. Jarquez Hunter absolutely cooked at practice today. That's what Hartman and I want to see. People saying Scadaboo's done forever. I have no idea what that's about. I think people just hate Scadaboo. Well, Underdog loads up, pull up Dynasty. Let's talk business. I mean, I have Judkins, right? Like, I actually logged into that. And like I logged in, I seen I had Judkins, and I just left. That like I had only Stafford with no quarterbacks left, and I'd already taken Judkins by the time I realized that was a thing. And like the Judkins thing is fine no matter what, because like next year was a fine thing too. And with the way that it was, it's like, that's whatever. So it's just a win now. But I'll say this, Willie, that every trade you sent me was so far from like even the realm of me thinking about doing it that I'm not going to talk about it, because you and I will definitely not agree on the way we value players. And also, if somebody sends me trade offers that I don't like and I think they're insane, like to me, it's just better to avoid talking about it. Yeah, I'm not into the lowball offer into a good offer. You will just never trade with me if that's the case. You got to start strong, and we will make minor adjustments. That's the only way I will ever trade. So that is it. Like I'm just like I'm fine not trading. So like just so you know, that's how it'll be. Yeah, I know. I don't think I'm logged in on here. Let me log into Sleeper. I don't think I've ever logged into Sleeper on Chrome, because I don't like Chrome. Right. Like all I'm really looking to do is let me find it. All I'm really looking to do is I don't want all the olds that had drafted me. I'm not going to contend this year. So the only thing that can work for me personally is midseason when there's some injuries. If Nick Chubb and DeAndre Hopkins and those players like have some value and I'm tanking, I will just get rid of those players then. Like I that's what I feel like is the only way I'm going to make trades that matter in that league. I'm a very patient person when it comes to trades. I believe that you get the best trade offers mid-season always. Um, so that is kind of where I'm at. I wait till people panic and then I trade. That doesn't mean I unfairly trade, but it's a lot easier to get a deal done whenever they're in need versus when they have a want. So let me see if I can share that screen instead. Window. There we go. Yeah. And I've just been kind of busy, so I wasn't gonna message you back and forth. And I basically want to see what happens up until like the end of preseason and then make some decisions is kind of where I'm at with it as well. Like I've got really good news this week. I mean, this wide receiver core is nuts, right? But I also have 0 quarterbacks in Superflex. Now, it's only this way because, I auto drafted. Joe Milton, quarterback 2, is not the best place. But like, if Javonte is named the starter, if anybody's interested, he is absolutely available. Tyler Lockett, maybe, like, apparently Io Manor is actually fighting for his job right now. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely talk then. Yeah, if you want some olds, like, we can do that. And I would almost rather just trade some olds for because I have the olds. I have Hopkins. I have Lockett. I have Nick Chubb. I have Javante. I have Kelsey. Like, Kelsey is very tradable for me. I don't need him because I have Laporta. And he's probably really good for a single season. I have Ertz, who I just picked up. I think I dropped Cole Kmet. So, yeah, underdog's still not working. If this lasts another like 7-8 minutes, that's interesting. I will think about it. Like something like that, I could totally be into. Because I have, even as a Chiefs fan, I have like 0 interest in Kelsey where I'm at, and I definitely need some sort of an upside quarterback. Now, the whole Nussmeier possibly being the number 1 guy or being a high draft pick next year and that being the offense coordinator for the Saints feels pretty bad for Shuck overall. But, I mean, even if he starts part of the season, like, it's a win for me. And it's, if I'm, what the heck is that? Are you guys, when you try to log in, is it sending you some to a wild page? I mean, he could be. I'm not a believer in Spencer Rattler. Right. Yeah, I'm at like 3.5% on Kelsey right now. I flat out take Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren, Evan Ingram, Mark Andrews, all ahead of him. I would almost take Njoku over him. But yeah, that's the team I got auto drafted. James Cook, I got at the value. Chuba's a fine pick. With Judkins and Scadaboo, Tracy, like, I have really good pieces. I just need a starting quarterback, honestly. Like, I don't think the team's that bad. There's just a lot of players I would have never, ever touched. Like, I would have never touched Chubb. I would have never touched basically Chubb. I probably wouldn't have got Tracy. It is nice that I have the stack, though. I would have never touched Tyler Lockett. Sorry, Steve. I'm not in. Yeah, like, to be honest, like, overall, for a team that got auto-drafted, I'm reasonably happy with it. So, now, one more time. What do you guys think? If I can't do... Yeah, this is the new page I'm getting on Underdog. I will show you. Have you guys ever seen this? I've never seen this page. Did all of our money just go up in smoke? Did they lose everything? Did we get got? That would be the worst, wouldn't it? If all the information's gone. This is what happens in a movie whenever a scammer's out there, right? Like, I know that's not what's going on. They're just having technical difficulties, but I don't know what's going to happen there. So they said on Twitter it's just a long-term rug pull. Got it. Well, I guess we'll come on over to Drafters and try to fill a Superflex for anybody who's interested. I'm in a Superflex lobby over on Drafters. As soon as the second this fills, Underdog is going to be back up, and then, yeah, the phone is working perfectly fine, but both, like, on Mozilla and on Chrome, they're both not working. So there's that. Unlike on Underdog, I'm actually getting high picks and drafters on the Superflex, by the way, Steve. Yeah, so we can talk trade after the stream, Willie. Just message me. I'll think about that Javonte Kelsey for Shuck. I think that's pretty close. And it would help me out a lot. I will probably do it. I just want to make absolutely sure before I say yes. Like, I would guess that is in. Yeah, that sounds good. So are you going to go ahead and buy the Judkins jersey? I have actual work to do right now. Can't draft. Got it. Yeah, so there was some other things that happened today. I was actually visiting with a bunch of buddies today, so I missed a lot of it. I'm mostly just upset that we will never have an answer for Rashee Rice. Like, we have to continue to draft with no information. Like, I think overall there is a chance. So, like, for Eliminator, Rice is a solid pick, but you know for a fact you're going to miss him during the bye weeks. Like, I think it's overall worse for everything that he misses the middle of the season, because that way he can't cover for bye weeks. Like, so if he was to miss the first 4 weeks, like if it's only a 4-game suspension, he's back to cover every single bye week. If he missed the first 6 weeks, there's only like 8 teams that are on bye. Like, so he could cover a lot of the bye weeks throughout the season, right? So him missing in the middle of the season is going to make it a lot harder to advance him, if nothing else. So some people think maybe they push the suspension until next year. I don't know about that. I I have, I can't know about that. Nobody can actually know about that. It's all hopium right now. Um, let's check underdog one more time. It's at least spinning right now. All right. So, yep, still not found. Well, so there is an absolute worst case scenario to this for Chiefs fans, at least. Like, if Rice gets hurt again before week 4 and he goes to that hearing, they're not going to suspend him in the games this season if he's already hurt now for the season. So that means he would miss the rest of the season and then the beginning of the next season with the suspension, I would guess. Like, that is like the nut low, in my opinion. Which this whole situation feels like the nut low already. So the one thing that is a positive for me specifically is I had 24% Rashee Rice in Eliminator before the plea happened. So at least those teams should be able to, I'm not completely dead early on, right? And whatever it cut, a lot of people will, I might be able to luck into, I have the suspended player, but they end up having an injured player or something, and it's kind of a fair matchup, right? So for Eliminator teams specifically, the Rice news is positive, but for the overall best ball portfolio, I do believe it's pretty bad, because if he does decide to appeal it, and that takes a couple weeks, and then it doesn't, and then it's still let's say a 6-game suspension, that's week 10, and then a 3-week, that means he would have 1 week back before the fantasy playoffs, and that's a best case scenario if that's what happens. But we have no idea how many games is going to be or anything. The fact that the judge they have is the same judge that did the Deshaun Watson trial. If that is the case, unregister. And it is not working for me. So let's try it again. Yep. Still not working here. I'll give it a few minutes. I wonder what Steve's what Steve thinks about it. I really just think there's no way to have any information here, right? It's just a gamble at this point. Had to re-sign in. Oh, yep. There we go. Sweet. Thank you, Steve. We are back. All right. Things are going good. So on that new screen, you have to go to the menu. I had to go to the menu and drop down to log in or to log out and then to re-log in, as Steve is saying. That worked. I'll give people a few minutes if anybody's planning on joining the MMG. It is 97.9. I have one. Steve says, I don't think it's positive news for Rice. Like you said, the bye weeks, and more likely your lineups will have picked up injuries by that point. Yeah, exactly. I think overall it's pretty bad. The only way it's a positive is if they happen to appeal or whatever, and it takes either A, they push the entire suspension until next year, which feels unlikely. I feel like the only reason they would be seeing somebody is because the number of games that the players were expecting was a lot more than what the league was trying to give. Uh, I think I heard today. So the person doing the hearing, Sue whatever, the Rashid Rice hearing. I'm going to look it up right now. It was Judge Sue Robinson, and she's the same judge that had the Deshaun Watson case. And if I remember right, Chad Candles brought this up, and it rang a bell. The NFL wanted more games than what the Sue Johnson ruling ended up being. Yeah, and I think any appeal would only push the suspension even later in the year. Like it might push it one more month, but that's kind of what I think as well. Also, if she decides it's lower than the NFL wants, the league could appeal. Yeah, like this is kind of, I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, but like you do wonder if they could give them two options and be like, you could take like 8 games next year or 6 games this year or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I do feel like they're wanting, it does sound like with how this is playing out that the NFLPA and the NFL are definitely not agreeing on what the NFL is wanting to do. So that means it could get messy. And like I'm not a lawyer, it's just all thoughts, but I am getting ready to join my final MMG. Hopefully, some of you were able to get here. I will join in 10 seconds. Also, if she decides, yeah. You talk about Drew Davenport? Yeah, like if you really want to know, and by the way, I instant queued in. I don't know if anybody got in with me, but I instant queued and got the 101. We got Twisted Fantasy at the 12. I got the 101. UCF, I feel like every time UCF Jaguars is in a single one of my rooms, he's always at the 3. Like he's always here at the 3 or 4. Right in there. He's going to have to start like doing some wild stuff with his portfolio so he doesn't have all Bijan and Gibbs. I think it's about time, sir, that you take like Drake London up here so you can get some. I highly recommend it. Is it? I assume Steve, you're talking about the Drew Davenport tweet. I would recommend anybody to go read that as well. I read through the entire thing. His opinion of it kind of like couples what I've thought the entire time, but like the way he's thinking through it kind of feels like that. It's just that it kind of sounds like he believes that it getting pushed to that far means that there's a lot more disagreement. So, but go read it for yourself. If you guys want, I can just find the tweet and I could retweet it. Yeah. I'll actually just do that right now because it was a really informative thing. So you have to like click his tweet and then he continues the tweet all the way down. Like it's a very, very long, tweet. And he had to continually like go in and could like comment again to get his thing through. So I just reposted it for anybody who is interested in that. Hey, go ahead and ask all of your questions, sir. Ask you a couple questions yesterday, and now Oh, you're Collins right here in the 2? Nice. Yeah, I mean, if you have any, like, if you're new to best ball and you need like basic strategy things, like, there's a lot of good discords around. Like, the Pound is a good one. I have a small group, but they're all super helpful. Uh, we might disagree on player takes and stuff, but a lot of us believe the same thing in like how to build teams and stuff. Yeah, Addison was also a repeat offender. Like, well, there's a lot of things that are different between all of those. Like, uh, yeah, I mean, you can like it. I don't want to spend the entire episode talking about that, but like, I mean, it is kind of the big story. Uh, I think it's all just the NFL, like the average NFL fan, like, number one, hates the Chiefs, but number two, most people view what Rice did worse than what Addison did, and they just want to feel like justice was had and for Rice to have a worse suspension purely because of that. Now, I'm not going to say it wasn't really bad. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the thing. Um, I've not been doing this very much, so we're just gonna do it. We got a 101. I I feel pretty solid about that, like, about doing this. So like, but I believe it's 100% about optics. I've said that the entire time. I thought that like they might push Addison's, like, if he gets 3, Rice will get 4. Uh, but it kind of sounds like they're wanting to make an absolute example of Rice. So we'll see what happens. I'm just a little upset we don't find out. Like, it was kind of weird that the Addison one happened and then Rice's gets pushed. And everybody who's out there saying that it's a conspiracy to get Rice through all the hard games at the beginning of the season, that is absolutely not the case. Like you can believe that, but like, it's a legal thing. Like, they're going through a CBA, like their CBA stuff and their reps and all that stuff. Like, and this is an unprecedented thing. I do not believe. I mean, you can believe that, but you're allowed to believe the aliens exist as well. So, like, you are allowed to believe in anything you wish. So we have 3 people in this draft who have drafted 3 straight RBs to start. We have Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall. That is the highest T draft I think I've ever seen. We have Gibbs, Bucky Irving, and Kyron. Then we have Bijan, Chase Brown, and Jacobs by UCF Jaguar. But yeah, like, I do agree. You can believe that. Just like everybody believed that the Patriots got all the calls years ago. That's your point. Addison probably could have drawn it out and forced a hearing as well, but he waived his right for an appeal. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it, like, honestly. So it's all just me reading through it and like having an opinion on it. What's up, Fantasy Football Garage? All I know is if it's a 6-game suspension mid-season, that is way worse than a 6-game suspension at the first 6 games. So, and if there's an appeal, and they might just appeal it, like, no matter what happens, one side might appeal it, right? Like, I don't. It kind of sounds like they're very far off, based on the Drew Davenport thing. Yeah, absolutely. Like they had that information for a long time, like a very long time. Question is, we're just gonna do the Burrow thing. If I take the double stack and I'm invested into the Arizona, I don't see the point in playing the game. I'm just going to take Joe Burrow because if these two aren't an uber smash, I'm probably losing anyway. So I might as well get the quarterback who, if they're both an uber smash, he's absolutely worth this pick. If they're not both an uber smash, he's probably not worth this pick. So like whenever I take the double stack, I do think it makes sense to take Joe Burrow here, since especially with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 non-badge drafters in here. Not that non-badge drafters can't be informed, but they generally are more likely to take the unstacked Burrow on you. And I also am incredibly into the Week 17 with the McBride as well. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm kind of like, I just retweeted that, so anybody who wants can read through it. Yeah, these Puppy and MMGs, Mahomes don't even come back at 72. Yeah, you are right. Like I seen my after the SBS drafts I did yesterday, I did a Puppy. The guy, I think it was in the 9 hole. I didn't even realize this till it was like I was at pick 86 looking for Mahomes because I had Worthy or Rice. I can't remember. But I was looking for Mahomes, and I was like, where's Mahomes at? Mahomes went in the 5th round at 57. And then I looked up, and at 40, the guy took Tyler Warren. Like, I believe it was Tyler Warren and then Mahomes at 57. Like, what? Just get your guys, man. Like, have a good time. Walker is talented, but Swift, Jones, Pollard usually score more points. So I agree, but the system they have in Seattle likes to use like an A back. And Walker proved last year that he is a good receiving back as well. His only problem is injury, right? So if he's healthy, like I am worried about the foot. Like I'm 100% worried about the foot. And I think Chuba versus Walker is a very fair argument. Like I really do. I think that's very close. Travis Hunter at 63. Gotta love it. The high T drafter gets Travis Hunter to fall down there after taking a quarterback too. That's some good stuff right there. All right, so we will definitely take Diggs and probably Pollard as well. Yeah, we're taking Diggs and we're taking Pollard. I don't have a best ball overlay up because I guess they had to. Did they reboot? I'm assuming. Hey, Steve, are you in a draft? And if so, is your best ball overlay up? Did they have to reboot the server and the overlays not work? Is that what's going on? My MMG this morning, I had Lamb and Dak went 65. Nice. Smash the like, everybody, and say a prayer for our ice packs while you're at. Yeah, like your BBO is up. I'll hit refresh and hope everything works. Then Let me. Yeah, it's not letting me bring up my best ball overlay. Story of my drafting life. Underdog just changed their website stuff. Okay. That's what I was thinking. They like reset it or changed it or something. We are doing our last MMG. There was some underdog issues at first. We're going to do an Elim, maybe two after this. They found a way to cram even more champions and pick'ems on their main page, and it's glorious. Yeah. I seen whenever I got on my phone, I have two, like I have a 30% and 100% pick'em available. So, all right. Yeah. Like if you hadn't got booted from earlier, it would work as well. So the team right now, we got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trey McBride, Kenneth Walker, Joe Burrow, Diggs, Pollard. I've been seeing Drake May fall all the way back to 120. So I'm actually going to see if I can't get that to happen. I have no problem taking him here, but I'm also okay like going in a different direction later in the draft. Like if I draft Joe Burrow here, I'm going to act like he's an elite quarterback, basically. Tyrone Tracy at 88. So, Steve, I got a question. Was there negative news on Scattaboo today? I seen some cryptic stuff, but I couldn't find actual news on it. Yeah. Like, so let me know if I did miss anything on Cam Scattaboo. But it kind of sounded like it was just a hater of Scattaboo out there talking about how he's never going to be good, more than actual information. Because, like, Scattaboo is one of the most divisive players in this entire pool. Dear all you Degens, please do not fill up the eliminator in the next 3 hours. Wait until I can draft a few more. Fast, please, and thank you. Go Arizona Cards, _Charles. There you go. I got you. Like I moved Quinshawn all the way back up. Question is, do I just go ahead and take him here, or do I push and hope he comes back? Yeah, I'm going to be slamming eliminators after this. That is happening. I'm going to go ahead and take Jalen Warren, and I actually forgot I had McBride. I'll just go ahead and take Keon, though. I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm pushing as well. I will definitely take Judkins if he's back over here. Okay. Yeah, like that. I mean, that's a beat writer making up stuff, and it probably it might start that way. Scattaboo's missed time. Leaving Singletary. All right. So, yeah, I was fully willing to smash him there. But like in this contest, I don't think pulling Judkins up makes a lot of sense because 95% of this contest, Judkins had been drafted, and he was drafted in every one of them, but he was drafted way down the board, right? I was in the clock at 80 slows at the time of the news. That is fantastic. Yeah, and it's a benefit to like bleeding out your clock. Like I don't do that many slows, but I will say until like this last week, I would just cue somebody and then let it time out. And if news came in, I would go to my slows and I would change my cue. Yeah, Elim closing EV isn't. Yeah, exactly. But like in this, I do think that closing EV matters quite a bit more. Did you hear the Commanders? Yeah. I mean, the JCM hype is like absolutely out of control. I can 100% admit that I might have like I was wrong watching his tape. Like I did say JCM looks like the kind of guy a coach is going to like, but he's never going to be the guy who's going to go out there and absolutely dominate. Like my comparison to him was honestly, it was I believe I used the exact one as Devin Singletary. Like he is a Devin Singletary or a Zach Moss like caliber player. Now apparently he's showing a lot more than that. So I do think that like I mean Judkins is absolutely going to get picked, but I could go with that as well. What do you think? Well, Judkins does go. Oh yeah, I forgot Jaguars in here. So I think we just do that. We'll definitely take Tucker Kraft. What other quarterback? This is kind of a fall on Burden. I'm just going to take the fall. I'll probably. I'm fine stacking Cam Ward with Pollard or Kenneth Walker. The news on Iomanor today, I'm probably going to try to take Cam Ward and then smash Iomanor here at 192. I don't know if people should treat it that Judkins won't get suspended. The charge being dropped, not the field. Yeah, like, so that's a good point. Like, this reminds me of the Ezekiel Elliott issue, right? Like, remember the Zeke thing? Also an Ohio State running back? Like, the thing that happened in college, he got, I think, like, the Dank Stats guy, I've been putting out some good stuff on Kraft. Which Dank Stats guy? Like, Kraft has been one of the better picks all offseason. It's hard to get every tight end in that area when you also have to take your quarterbacks there. BP thinks he's not getting suspended. Ted Bundy would make a great Brown. I mean, they dropped the charge. Yeah, like, yeah, because like, I guess dropping the charges is different than being found innocent. Like, it shouldn't be, but it is. Like the Xavier Worthy thing, because the Xavier Worthy had something like this happen beginning, like, but he instantly came out and said, this is absolutely false, right? Back in like March. Von Miller got 4 games where, yeah, like it's the domestic stuff, like they absolutely do not mess around. Conduct detrimental to training camp news on who? I think Barrett and Gibbs both posted, but I had okay. What's up, Cade? Yeah, like Von Miller got that, but like The Ezekiel, like look up the Ezekiel Elliott thing when he got suspended and then he appealed and then got like missed the back like his games in the middle of the season. Like that entire thing was wild. We're not going to mess around. We're going to go ahead and take Cam Ward here. We are done at that position. I'm still in on Tootin. I know people are playing really scared, but I like him. I like him quite a bit. And especially in a room here, like I got Walker, Pollard, and Warren to make sure I get points early in the season. He's that late season guy. I've been there. There's been other players that like that same kind of thing, like charges get dropped, all that stuff. Like there's a lot of like they don't mess around with it. And if it's not an offensive player, the public usually doesn't care. So it doesn't get talked about that much. But Steve is right, like with this. Like, but with the offensive players, everybody remembers it because it ruined their fantasy teams. Zay Jones got 5 games a couple of years ago, and the prosecutors dropped the charges. And then there was somebody else like that had the charges got dropped, kind of thing. Which Jags RB to take is one reason I'm saving 50. Oh, that does make sense. Yeah, I hasn't signed a rookie contract, so like I don't know exactly how the exempt list works, but if he signed a contract, he would have been put on the exempt list. I don't know if he was ever at practice or anything, but I'm assuming that if he was on the exempt list, it would make things a lot harder. To like get something done. Yeah, like I just think at the end of the season, the answer is 100% going to be Tootin. Well, like neither was Zeke. Like that's why I look at the Zeke thing here, because the Zeke thing happened from, and this is off of memory from years ago. It was a case that happened while he was at Ohio State. I believe he played an entire season in the NFL, and then he was suspended the next season after being found innocent. So, like, and then he appealed that, and the NFL is like, nah, you're getting games anyway. Yeah, and I don't know exactly how all that exempt list, like if he could be in contact with the team and all that stuff, and like if he was off the exempt list, what he can and can't do, or what the Browns ask him, like, hey, stay here, like you need to learn or stay away from us. I don't remember any of that stuff. I just kind of stayed away from drafting him is all I did. Chris Godwin got like possible negative news as well. I love Jalen McMillan as a player, so I will take him here. You know what? We'll go ahead and take Sam Darnold too. So the team right now, we have a 3-4-6-2. We got Joe Burrow, Cam Ward, Sam Darnold. Running backs, Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard, Jalen Warren, Paschal Tootin. Wide receivers, Chase, Higgins, Diggs, Coleman, Burden, Jalen McMillan. Tight ends, McBride, Kraft. We're done there. We're done at quarterback. This is going to be a 3-6-7-2 build. I know there's two. Actually, it may end up being a 3-5-8-2 because there are two wide receivers I do really want to get. Nice. Look at that. That would be hilarious. Like, did that happen? Yeah, they do that too. Like, if there's a video, that's the video. If there was no video on the Rashee Rice thing, I don't think he would get very many games at all. But the video of him walking away makes it really, really bad for the optics of the NFL, right? So, Flacco must feel like Danny Glover at Lethal Weapon movies. I'm getting too old for this shit. That's great. That is great. That's good stuff. Let's look and see how far the Eliminator is. Where is the Eliminator? Eliminator, 95% full. 95. If you're just popping in, please smash the like for me. Also, if you do enjoy the content, think about subscribing. I go live every Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. Central. Steve Schaup and I are going to start doing recaps on all the preseason games. I believe we're going to go into regular season. We're going to go game by game, give breakdowns of what happens. We're going to do that on Tuesdays. That's going to probably be at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern every week. I had a really good time doing it last week. We kind of ran a little long, but that'll get it was the first time we tried it. We were just kind of just talking ball. It was a good time. We will be able to condense it throughout the season, but that's something I look forward to. If you have any interest in that, sub here, and we might bounce between here and the FanSpeak Network. We haven't really figured that out yet, but I would be up for whatever. I do want Alec Iomanner. I moved Marshawn Lloyd way up in my rankings too. I like him as a prospect. I don't think they want to give Josh Jacobs the workload they gave him last year. So Iomanner is the one I really want here. And RB wise, I think I just pull up Taj Brooks, right? We just complete out the Cincinnati thing. So, yeah. And then we have an open pick with our last pick. Now, I'll be honest with you. If Jaguar wants him, he can have him. I'll take Jalen Coker if he's there. And if not, I'll probably tack on. Apparently, he wants him now. He has zero chill. Come on, Jaguar. You need some chill, not zero chill. Calm down, sir. I did take Dameon Pierce earlier today. Dear underdog, no more slowy limbs, please. Except for those simply waiting for empty spots. No, kick those guys out. Don't be that nice. Kick all those people out. I am not taking Isaiah Bond. Did he really sign? That would be the most meme thing. I don't believe that that's a true thing, but we will look it up. That feels like an Adam Scheffler post. I love Iomanner. Yeah, I heard today from Herzig that there's talks that Iomanner's is just beating out Tyler Lockett right now in camp. I'm not saying you're lying to me, but I myself have absolutely got before. The official Schefter tweet is Isaiah Bond announced he plans to sign with the Cleveland Browns, but has no deal be finalized per sources. Nice. Okay. I was just looking it up. Oh, yep. Aren't all accounts with the blue check mark real accounts? Come on. Don't you know? All the ones with the check mark would never lie to you, ever, for any reason. They're not there just drumming up business. They're not there just spouting off things, trying to get likes, trying to feel important. Everybody on the internet has your best interest in mind. I am not taking any more MVS with Torrey Horton being healthy and being there. Oh, it's an ESPN. I don't know what your alerts are. Maybe you have the Onion tagged, and that's where you get all your information. I don't know. The Onion would be the best, though. If it was the Onion, that's where I get all my sports news. The Onion. That would be fantastic. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and smash some Marshawn Lloyd. All right, so we got a 3-6-7-2. Joe Burrow, Cam Ward, Sam Darnold. Running backs, Walker, Pollard, Warren, Tootin, Brooks, Lloyd. Wide receivers, Chase, Higgins, Diggs, Coleman, Burden, McMillan, Iomanner. That does feel a little weak at wide receiver, but like if Burden is good, if McMillan starts the season, fine, because Godwin's hurt, and then Burden takes off in the second half, like those five feel awesome. And then we got McBride and Tucker Kraft. Anyway, we are about to enter an eliminator. Anybody who wants to do an eliminator, I will be joining in 10 seconds. Bootlegger updates. Bootlegger updates. I prefer my zeros on a high-scoring team, please. That's right. My eliminators feel way better with Rashee Rice going to play the first 4 weeks because I had a bunch. Let's see. Is Judkins available? Nope. All right. I got the 104. Charlie's got the 5. I believe Tyler is in the community. Welcome. I've seen you in a bunch of drafts. We got Jalapeno at the 7. UCF Jaguar again here at the 10. Dak 44 Lamb. You said something earlier. Welcome and congratulations. And Billy P here, right? I don't know how I missed that. Billy P at the 2. I'm pretty Billy. All I'm going to say is the best eliminator pick is 100% Puka Nacua right now. You should take Puka Nacua at the 2. I'm pretty sure he's a great pick. Dude, I cannot buy a number 2 overall pick in the eliminator. I'm heavy. I'm overweight Bijan on everything except eliminator. I've got 4% Bijan in eliminator. I just can't get that pick. I don't take much Saquon, but we will do it here. I'm going to bring that sheet up. So I know so week 1 he plays Dallas, and he absolutely smashed Dallas last year. And he didn't have a touchdown, but he had 160 yards if I remember right. Let's look that up. Saquon. So here we go. Live look-in. So I know he had 2,000, almost 2,500 yards total if he would have played the NFC East every game. So Dallas, 1 touchdown, 78 yards. And the second game, 169 with no touchdowns. Actually, no touchdowns there either. So one game he didn't do that well, but the other game was actually week 17 where he still got 19 points and everybody acts like he did nothing. What up, Meat Gazer? And Mike? Oh, yeah, Money Mike. I missed that. Sorry, guy. This is an entire, like, everybody's in here. This is nice. Not everybody gets to survive. It's cutthroat here. So let's look and see what's happened. Derrick Henry up here. I like Derrick Henry in Eliminator a lot. Jefferson's a scary pick in Eliminator, but he could just be a great pick. I think my Eliminator rankings right now are Chase, and then these three, then McCaffrey, and then Lamb, Jefferson, and then those two. And then Achane and Genty. Actually, it's Achane by himself. And I kind of mix in this group of people. Chase Brown to me should be going higher right now in Eliminator. That would have been an auto pick. I would love Drake London. Absolutely love it. Let's go Drake London here. We got our hero running back. We'll take Drake London. Week 1, I believe they play Tampa Bay, then Minnesota, then Carolina, then Washington. So, yes, they have an early bye week, but 3 of their first 4 weeks are against bad, really, really bad defenses. One's against one of the best defenses in the league. So I like the Atlanta. That's one reason I really, really like Bijan for this contest. I can't get the first pick, or I can't get the second pick. Josh Allen goes. I think I'm just going to take the. I was going to take the elite onesie here. I mix them in. It's pretty up and down with people if they believe the elite onesie is a good thing or a bad thing. Lad's been falling. I seen Lad and a puppy go at 27. For the number 1 overall pick and Tyreek. So CD for Genty and Hill? Or is it next year's number 1 pick? Do you know it's number 1 overall pick? I personally, it would depend on the league settings, number 1. If it's a 2 wide receiver starting league, I would probably go ahead and do it. If it's a 3 wide receiver starting league or a deep flex league, and full PPR, I probably wouldn't do it. The league settings to me matter a lot whenever it comes to dynasty trades. But Tyreek plus a first rounder, Tyreek plus Genty, to me, I think I would do that in most leagues, especially in a league that okay. I personally think I would do it. I think it's pretty fair both ways. Genty could just next year be going ahead of CD Lamb, in every format. He may suck too. We know for a fact CD's good, right? And if it's full PPR, CD is very, very reliable. Standard PPR with 2 flex. So is it 2 RB start, 2 wide receiver start, or is it 2 and 3 with 2? So It's 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Yeah, I mean, you could do that as well. Yeah, I would most likely take that trade, but I'm also very in on yeah, we're gonna take Kamara here. We're gonna go with Steve's dream team. We got Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara. We got Steve's dream team right here. Yeah, and you could do that too. Like then package the number 1 overall pick for other things. Like and it depends on what you need too. Like, does your team need a lot of pieces or does your team need an absolute star? Like I would probably just keep Genty and then try to trade Tyreek for a pick later in the back end of in the back end of the first. Like, because you could basically turn CD Lamb into Ashton Genty plus maybe Matthew Golden, right? Because Matthew Golden or Tet, like, I don't know how the people in your league are with trades, but some people, like some contenders, some leagues, you can get a first round pick for like a pick 11 or like 10, 11. And I got Matthew Golden a month ago. Like it's a different scene now, but I got Matthew Golden a pick 13 in in 2 of my dynasty leagues. I get George Pickens or Ridley back. Like this feels really good. Do I do that or do I take Harvey, who only started because Dobbins lost his helmet? I think I'm just going to ride the 2 bell cows and build out wide receivers from here. A team after five rounds is Saquon Barkley, Drake London, McBride, Kamara, Ridley. If you need our running back, sure, grab Genty, but in full PPR, Henderson and Harvey are, yeah, I get that. I still, like, Henderson might be, like, just because you could get Henderson plus, right? Like, if you could trade back and get Henderson to, like, the number 4 spot and guarantee to get Hampton or Henderson plus, like, basically any of the top 5 picks, like, if you could trade back from the 101 and then pick up more draft picks, like a next year's first with it, because some people are insanely in love with Genty. And as BP saying, you could possibly trade that into more. And if you can't get Golden or Ibuka, get Ted or whatever. Or I mean, even if you trade back and like you get Travis Hunter, like there's a lot of people afraid of Travis Hunter. I seen Travis Hunter fall to the pick 8 in a draft. Like I didn't have a pick or anything to trade up at that point. So I couldn't do anything about it. I'm like, this is stupid. What? I want in. Let me in. But I didn't have enough capital. Like that team, like it was an orphan team that I took over that's not very good. Not very good at all. Yeah, so RBs all the way down to the fact that Tony Pollard went before RJ Harvey feels a little rich to me. I will smash either one of these. If one of these two make it to me, I will take it. So there was a report yesterday that like Steph Diggs looked hurt. And then today there was a report that said he was smashing. So I'm just going to assume that he's smashing all the time. That's where my bets have been made. Like, worst case scenario, it takes him a few weeks to really get up to speed. And I do think that by the end of the season, he will 100% be the guy there. And I've absolutely been wrong before. Left you so much value though. What's up, ATX Bearcat? How we doing? So we are in round 7. The Juwan Jennings stuff feels a little weird. I do like these two players in Eliminator quite a bit. Which one do I want? I'll take Judy. Like Jacoby does have the like. If I make it far into the season, Jerry Judy's job is like very much not in question of being lost. Jacoby Myers, there is a world where Jack Besh and Thornton just end up emerging and taking over the wide receiver roles there. I think it's an incredibly low percentage that Besh turns it around that much, but it's a lot higher chance than Jerry Judy has to get beat out by Isaiah Bond. I mean, call me crazy, but I'm going to guess the round 2 capital is a little like that player may have more talent than Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond, right? So we got like Olave. I've gotten to where I'm basically fading Olave because I like everything else here. Like, I don't like Swift at this cost, but for Eliminator, this is a really good pick. I did not like his film at all. Like, at all. Whenever I watched this stuff, I couldn't ever see what anyone's seen in him. I did not see that. But like Quinn Ewer's superpower is making his wide receivers look a lot worse than they are. So, like, God bless Quinn Ewers. He makes everything coming out of Texas incredibly hard to predict. So, like, there is a world that, like, because with Worthy and with Adonai, like I feel bad for Adonai Mitchell, man. Like, he goes from Quinn Ewers missing him by 10 yards to Anthony Richardson missing him by 20. Like, aren't you supposed to have a better quarterback in the NFL? Like, I love Anthony Richardson. He's so much fun to watch, but he's also maybe the most inaccurate quarterback we've ever seen. Next to Jake Locker. Jake Locker can always hold that. Like, absolutely. Like, he is – Jake Locker is – yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he did. And like, if you – so Golden beat out 2 people, basically. Golden had the big games in the playoff games. Because Golden, I think, started the season as the wide receiver 3 there, and the big prospect, like, kind of flaked out, and Bond became the number 1 while Golden went in, and then Golden became the number 1, if I remember what happened. Like, Golden basically supplanted 2 people to be the guy by the end of the season. But I only marginally watch college ball, and that's what I remember from research from months ago. I'm not 100% sure that is correct. Not to mention a rich it is my turn on the clock. Mark Andrews is such a good pick, but honestly, Josh Downs is also a very good pick. I need another receiver, so we will do that. We are back on the Justin Fields hype train, everybody. I mean, if Kyler makes it back to me, I will absolutely take him. Bond has some pretty legit talent and no work ethic. Yeah. So I literally had 1 share of Isaiah Bond before the combine when everybody was taking him at 150. I had my rankings. I had Isaiah Bond ranked at 272. That's how bad I thought he was. I'm the only person in the world that at the combine watched him play, and I'm like, he looks a little better than I thought, and I moved him all the like everyone else dropped him like 50 points because he didn't run fast. I moved him up. I moved him up to 220, being slightly draftable. So like that's where I'm at with Isaiah Bond. Like when we thought he might get round 3 capital, I was like, he might be worth a click. Judkins is back, baby. All of my eliminator teams from before have a hope. I was 24% Rashee Rice and 14% Judkins, and both of those news dropped like in the same week, and I did not feel good at all. Now, Rashee Rice won't make it all the way through the season, but at least for eliminator, and it's worse for every other contest. But like for eliminator specifically, like Rice is probably a pretty good pick right now. Where did he go? He went at 63. I would scoop him at 63 for sure. I didn't even think about looking for him. That's probably like because once you get there, okay. Yeah, Adonai Mitchell. Yeah, absolutely. But Adonai Mitchell also continually got missed by the quarterback. Bond transferred from a school. He was okay at that school, but had upside. Like he's always been like a project. So, I don't think Isaiah Bond can possibly beat out Deontay Johnson. And that's not a very positive thought for him. That's where I'm at with it. I think his chances of beating out even Deontay Johnson are very, very low. But he would be battling. Bond would be battling for like Cedric Tillman's job, or the number 2 behind that. Let's look at the sleep. Like, let's go to our lads and look up their depth chart real quick. So yesterday was something really weird. I pointed it out a couple of places, and I've said it, I think, on my stream. But the Browns had Quinshon Judkins listed as the number 2 running back yesterday. I don't know if it's been that way the entire time, but yesterday I went to the Our Lads page, and they had him listed number 2, and they usually do a pretty good job of the depth chart. And that was pretty odd to me. Like that didn't quite make a lot of sense. Bateman's all the way down here. Bateman's that's a good price on Rashad Bateman. Different bye weeks as well. So Cedric Tillman, Caden Davis, David Bell, Jamari Thrash, DeAndre Carter, Deontay Johnson behind him. Like, there's definitely a spot to find a job there. Yeah, Our Lads generally has the most, like, they're not 100% accurate because nobody is, but they're generally the most accurate in my experience of all the depth charts I've ever looked at. They're generally the most accurate. I don't know who does their depth charts or who looks through the information, but in all of my dynasty leagues I used to do, I just drafted a lot of things and made some trades preseason based on the Our Lads depth charts. And if you do just that and other people don't know about it, you can usually sneak in some pretty good trades. It's sad to see the king. The king is still here. One of my goals, like double Cleveland, doesn't feel great, but Cleveland plays Cincinnati week 1. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do it. We will be done at tight end there. Thought about just pulling up a random quarterback. Kyler should give me a decent floor. If you're just popping in, please smash the like for me. And if you enjoy the content, give me a sub. I had 297 before this stream. It would be fantastic if I could hit 300 by tonight. I would be very, very happy if that happens. Yeah, so we'll go back to this depth chart though, but like Quinshawn, this was the depth chart yesterday. They had it hasn't updated on 8/12, right? So 2 days ago they updated it and they had Quinshawn here. I don't know if he's been there the whole time because I go here about once a month. But I wanted to look through every team after the preseason games to see what they had. And that was one of the things that stood out to me, is that before any of that happened, they had him there. So that's just something that's interesting. Like, was Samson looking that? Like, I know some people say Samson has looked good. Some people have said Ford's in the lead. I have no idea. We're still possibly getting a suspension from Judkins, but the biggest fear is that he was not going to play all season, right? Like, that was the biggest fear with Judkins. And like the Rice thing, I highly doubt we find out what the suspension is until later. This has been a wild, I will take Scadaboo if he makes it all the way back around. Like, Javonte's probably a decent pick in this contest, though. Ooh, we're down to zero RB. Even Cam Ward went at 136. What are you guys doing? Thank you for taking Scadaboo. I didn't want to have to. I guess I just have to do it, right? I have to take somebody. There's no choice here. I just have to. So sorry, whoever has Bowers. I guess I'm taking Geno Smith. Judkins getting away with illegal activities is exactly the type of player they want. They will feed that dude. They've seen aggression. That is a very good thought, sir. Probably right on pace with the way things are working out there. We got but yeah, I'm having a good time here. I definitely got to do just one more draft though, and it will be an eliminator. I got re-addicted to a video game I used to play, so I'm going to be very deep into that. Do I want? I think I want. I think I'll just take Dobbs. Get a little bit of floor there. It's a game called Monster Train. So the second one came out. It's a TCG. It's really fun. There's a lot of cool tricks, and it's a thought. You got to think a lot in the game. The first game I played quite a bit. The second game came out a while back. I kind of played around with it. It's even more fun. And instead of releasing an expansion, they release a second game. But then they also once you get to an X point, it actually unlocks everything from the first game and puts it into the second game. So it is basically an expansion, but it's also a brand new game. Like all the mechanics work exactly the same. It's really good. Like if you like if you're a best ball bro, like you like things that make you think a little bit. Monster Train it's super cool. So like, I mean, I could bring it up for a split second at the end of the stream if anybody cares to just see what it looks like. But like, it's got 3 tiers. So you summon monsters and you cast spells. You have defense and there's 3 levels of the train. So you put your defense out and then the enemies come in and both people attack once. And then if you don't kill everything, it goes up, and then it goes up again, and then it kills your pyre. And your pyre has so much health, and it's like a attrition game with a lot of thought. It's pretty simple to figure out. There's a lot of things to do and a lot of like intricate things that are hard to like master, but the basis of the game is pretty simple. Did I ever play The Witcher? I never did play the card game on The Witcher. And I actually, The Witcher's one of those games that I own all 3 of them. I've never played them. I had a friend with that game, said he played only for the card game. I don't know. This is pretty late for Trey Benson. I guess I'll just take Trey Benson. 165. Path of Exile is my original love. I've got 6,000 hours in that game. Like literally, I'm actually well over 6,000 hours in Path of Exile 1. Path of Exile 2 was complete and absolute garbage. Yeah, I discovered Bestball and decided to start streaming, so I don't have time for the Path of Exile. The current season is the season that I had been waiting for the last 8 years. Like, because I started playing after season 2 or 3. So I've been playing that game for like 9.5, 10 years. I haven't played it for the last full year, but that game, like, it's a very, very difficult game to get into. There's a huge learning curve. That's all I'm going to say. That learning curve is wild. I have double by week 8. Do we think Russell Wilson still has the job by week 8? It was him or Shuck. I had to take one of them. Maybe I'll just take Shuck too. That felt really bad. I played some WoW Classic for a little while. I'm never willing to, like, I want to get to the point that I raid and stuff, but the only groups that, like, the guilds that raid, they like require you to do so much and be online so much and all that stuff, and like pugs just never work. So like playing through the game to the end game is awesome. Nice. I lean towards he keeps the job longer. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I think they have by week 14, right? I could see like by week 12 or something. Yeah, what's up, Bink King? Thank you for popping in. 98%. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And I don't. The overlay isn't up at the moment, so I can't look. Well, like the good thing about Path of Exile is you play it like you just play it incessantly for a month and a half to 2 months. You take and then used to once every 3 months they put out a brand new game basically. Like it's the same game but the new season completely changed how the game was played. So like the base of the game was there and the same, but the end of the game was completely different. And so like you needed to know all the early stuff and how all the stuff before worked. But like, hell yeah, Jalen Coker. And then probably an RB here. I think we want some upside RBs. Probably some Damian Pierce or some Lloyd. Lloyd's probably like I think low owned in this contest doesn't really matter that much. But getting a starter, like so, let's go back to our lads real quick and look at the Texans depth chart. Oh, great, an ad. That's what I want. 3 picks away. All right. So Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Damian Pierce by the depth chart is ahead of Woody Marks. That to me makes me a little leery on him. I don't know. I have a hard like I need the late season upside here. Like if I'm going to make it, maybe it's a Giddens team. Dart was my favorite quarterback in the draft. Yeah, he looked really good in the preseason. Like that's the thing that makes me wonder about the Russ thing. Best quarterback in the draft was Howard. I liked Howard, but I will never say that. I think Dart will be the best quarterback in the class, but that really isn't saying a lot either. I honestly do believe in Cam Ward, but I do think Dart is clearly the number 2. And I think that Will Howard, like I kind of like Will Howard next. Like Will Howard, like I kind of have Howard plus Shador in the same category and Shuck kind of all together. Like as if things go perfect, they could have a good career. They will never be stars, but they could be okay. Yeah, but if you ever want to talk about Path of Exile, let me know. I won't do it on stream, but and like I refuse to start Path of Exile right now because if I do, I will forget that everything else in life exists. That's how I do best ball too. Like I pick one hobby and I do that hobby and I do it to every waking hour. Like I might have an addiction problem. But that's fine. Like perfectly fine. I understand it and I live with it. So what do we need here? We got our 2 tight ends. We got our 3. Saquon, Kamara, Swift, Benson, Giddens looks good. I think we just take a random wide receiver here. Jalen Knoll is getting a lot of hype. Isaac Tesla gets a lot of hype. Let's look at the bye weeks here. Those are fine. The bye weeks there are fine. The bye weeks there are fine. We could just do this. I think we need another wide receiver though. We got Geno Smith. We'll just take the Jack Best share and go for the best. Like I think we can. We we have a lot of guys who should give us projectable points. Oh, apparently I don't get good things. Josh Reynolds is a good thing. Let's just do Josh Reynolds here. That makes sense. I mean, I haven't been to the casino for a while. I love going to the horse races, though. I'll tell you that. They're a good time. Going to be 90 years old, running solitary games 100 times a game in his nursing room. I'll be playing Monster Train probably. I will have a computer set up playing TCGs or like Baldur's Gate 3, the best game I've ever played. Still. So we got a 3-5-8-3. We got Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, Russ Wilson. Running backs, Barkley, Kamara, Swift. So 3 absolute starters and then some swings here. Trey Benson with a little correlation. DJ Giddens. Wide receivers, London, Ridley, Judy, Downs, Bateman, Dobbs, Coker, and Reynolds. I think that's a serviceable room. And then Trey McBride and David Njoku. I'm curious, does anyone else label every player with either a number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6? You're welcome. I said all of those because I couldn't stop myself. Once I did number 1 and 2, I couldn't stop, right? I had to like commit. And so on there for the position, no matter what build I have. Okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, so like if Swift's going to be your number 3 running back and you take him, you still have him as your number 4? I do not do that. I just kind of take guys and look and see if I think the room's strong enough or not. Hey, man, I did 5 eliminators today. What do you think about going double elite quarterback in a limb? I think it's an underrated strategy since 6 teams don't move past week 1 in your group. So off the schneid, he likes to do double elite quarterback in a limb because his theory is that elites give you the knockout power to be able to just completely win a week. And if you have Lamar plus Jaden Daniels, your likelihood to outscore the other team's quarterbacks by 10 plus points is very big. And you can sit, and then most teams in Eliminator are taking 3 quarterbacks. It gives you an extra roster spot to try to catch up with them at the other positions. I don't know if I believe that, but it all matters on how they spike weeks together, really. Like every position, it's all about how many points do you get, and when you have a bad week, how does that other player work with you? And in Eliminator specifically, it's much easier to get away with a bad week because it's like you could just go against somebody that has all their players on bye. Anyway, we're going to do another Eliminator. I'm going to enter in 10 seconds. I won't take Swift as my number 3 ever. You'll just go L. Well, don't you get to a point if you do that like you're kind of pigeonholing yourself into the same builds, right? Like wouldn't that mean that if you don't take him there, like there's nobody else that you're going to take because all the running backs after him are like number 4 backs. So if you don't have a 3 by then, you just don't draft. Like, I don't understand that, like how that works. All right. Like, I'm just trying to understand how that works. I have Devontae Adams, a tier break. Do you see him as a wide receiver 1? I was very, very in on Devontae Adams if Matt Stafford plays all season, Devontae Adams in all formats should go at like pick 29, pick 27 to 29. Like, he's that good. He should go up in there. Anyway, we got Cade. I got the 4 spot. Jalapeno back at the 6. I think he was there last time. I think I was here last time. Charles got the 9. Billy at the 12. Sweet. I will look at that here shortly. But yeah, it's all based on Stafford. So like, number one, we know Garoppolo and Stafford and Adams aren't like best of friends. I think if Garoppolo plays, it doesn't affect Puka as much as it affects Adams. I think if Stafford plays, I think it is huge for I think it's huge for Devontae Adams. And I think the offense as a whole will be much, much better. Yeah, we're going Gibbs. I thought about taking a second Saquon share there because I don't have many Saquon shares, and in Eliminator, I do think Saquon's a much better pick. Let's look at the trade. I mean, that's pretty fair, but I don't think you understand how big of a Ladd McConkey fan I am. Like, in Dynasty Startup, like, if it's non-Superflex, I have Ladd McConkey at, like, I have him as basically the pick after Neighbors, like, next, like, or after Brian Thomas. Like, McConkey's next for me before Amon. So, like, that's where I'm at. So, like, I'm just going to, like, I went back and I looked through the team. That, like, I do appreciate what you did. You did not have to do that. I still would have paid for sure. I was like, but I went back and I looked at the team. It's got, like, the end of the draft was a bunch of things I would have never done. And I would have definitely gave up some for a quarterback. No, absolutely not. I'm fine giving up on this season and getting some stuff for next year. And I'm pretty sure Willie Knows Ball and I have a trade I'm probably going to do. He said it's Javonte Williams. It's Javonte Williams and Travis Kelce for Tyler Shuck. Like, I'm not a big Tyler Shuck fan, but I don't care about those two players. And if I'm looking to get better for the future, like, that makes sense. It gives me a chance. Shuck could be good. It could be an absolute value. And it does give me a second quarterback to start. And it gives me, like, a chance if Stafford's actually hurt to have a quarterback, because I only have him right now, right? And I'm not going to sweat missing Kelce's final season because I have Laporta as well. So I have Laporta, Ertz, and Kelce. So I'm fine giving up that to get a quarterback, even if it's like not an amazing trade. Like, it's a reasonable trade. And I think where I'm at, I would want to do that. Of course, Kyron has that bye week. I'm completely out. You know what? We're just doing McBride again. Screw it. So you're saying when you draft Ladd, I get a big McConkey? Absolutely. Well, might not be big, but a McConkey for sure. We got maybe if a Rich becomes the full-time A-Rich. Oh, yeah, I love Anthony Richardson as a prospect. he's very risky right now. And it catalog, I actually didn't mean, like, whenever I looked at it, I hit close. I didn't mean to actually close that trade. I was just trying to close it down to not look at it anymore, but I hit decline. so I will say that happened. Like something similar to that, I could, because there's a lot of players that, like, I don't really like Zay Flowers either. And that it's not an unfair trade, but like I took actually in a different dynasty league. Tell me if you guys would do this. Bendel said he wouldn't. I think I got an absolute steal in this. This was while Matt Stafford was talked about being traded for that week. I took Puka in the startup, and I took Herbert, and I was hoping Ladd came back around. Ladd went like 2 picks before me, but the guy who took Ladd wanted Puka really bad and was upset. I took him in the second. So I was like, hey, I'm willing to do some sort of swap with Puka and Ladd. And he sent me Ladd plus his first next year for Puka. And I instantly said yes. Well, I was like, absolutely. Like, you absolutely have me here. So every single player here is a bye week 8. Every one of them. You know what? I'm just going to take Pickens. I want to not have every position with the bye week 8 right now, like as my first player. Would you guys have done that? Would you guys have done Ladd McConkey plus a future first and a 12-man? It's a 12-man super flex where you have 3 wide receiver starts, a super flex, and 3 flexes. So it is incredibly deep. Well, I don't think so. Like, that's the thing. That I'm very high on McConkey. I'm very high on the Chargers offense. Like, pretty much every Charger I'm overweight on. All right, so we take Connor if he's here. No, we don't. He's also week 8. All of them's week 8. And then Calvin Ridley's week 10. Guess we go week 8. Screw it. We'll just take a DJ Moore share. We'll take the RB1 for the Bears and DJ Moore. RB1 for the Bears, DJ Moore. Feels good. Out here admitting to murdering a man in trade like a rapper admitting to stealing dough. So, like, most people say that other guy won, actually. But to me, like, number one, I didn't offer the trade. Like, if somebody offers you a trade that's bad and you instantly accept, that's on them. If you go out there offering everybody bad trades just to try to get a single one through, like, that's on you. Like, this guy, I just told the guy I was willing to make a trade of Puka and Ladd with a swap of something. And I said with a draft pick, but it was during the initial draft. I was actually only looking to, like, add an additional 7th round pick for the cost of like a 16th round pick, like to move up in the inaugural draft, like maybe like 6 rounds, like a 7th for a 13th round. Like, that's all I was looking for. But the offer he sent me was the number 1 overall, like his number 1 next year. There's more players I don't like versus do, to be honest. What are you talking about? I guess I missed that. What's your favorite Elim build in terms of quarterback, wide receiver? I think it's hard to argue with 3-5-7-3 in Eliminator. If you get an elite, going 2 makes sense. I'm going to take Deebo Samuel. The more I think about it, the more I think Deebo Samuel is a very good pick specifically for Eliminator. The reason why is because Terry McLaurin he's the guy there, right? Assuming he signs. I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is Terry McLaurin hasn't been practicing. So Jaden Daniels and his rhythm may be off. So who has been practicing is Deebo Samuel. So Deebo Samuel at the beginning of the season should have chemistry with Jaden Daniels, correct? So for Eliminator specifically, I actually really like the Deebo. And I just recently thought about this over the last week, but I know it's almost over, but I think that makes a lot of sense. He's also got a decently late bye. And Matthew Golden's still available. Absolutely. We will hero running back this. Bink King says there are more players I do than like just in general when I'm drafting. Got it. My least favorite trader is guy who offers horrible stuff just to start. Well, yeah, Willie Knows Ball sent me some offers, and he come in saying we need to make a trade. I'm like, we can talk, but like I said, the stuff you sent me is the kind of stuff that I just hit no, and I closed the conversation. So, and I was like, the more that happens, the less likely I am to trade with you. So, like, start off somewhere close. Like, I generally start off somewhere in a deal that I kind of expect them to take. Like, I look at both people's rosters, see what helps both teams, and send something that, like, if I'm contending, I only look for people not contending to make trades with. If I'm not contending, I only look at contending teams to make trades with. I took Deebo 3 out of 5 eliminators. Nice. Sounds like you have good thought process, sir. Sounds like Underdog dropping new stuff all next week. They're probably going to do a Superflex Palm at some point. I agree. I'm spreading thin during the season. Yes, exactly. Yeah, like the people who have 3 or 4 leagues, like, aren't the ones that are doing that, like sending the bad offers. It's the guys who have 30 or 40 leagues, and they're just sending out offers like that in every league, hoping one lands, right? Like from my experience, like I don't have time to look through all that. Well, if you don't have time to look through it, don't try to make trades. Exactly. Like I might spend 20, 30 minutes looking at a trade and try to figure something out. And if nothing jumps at me, I'm like, I don't think we can get anything done. My least favorite trader is the guy who offered, yeah. I always reply to that with we have differences on the values of these players. End of story. Like you and I will not come to an agreement because neither one of us have these players even close to together. This is kind of rough. Looks like we're going 0 RB here, guys. Know what? Screw it. We're done at quarterback. Like that trade was no, like I'm just very high on McConkey. Like that's like whenever I seen that roster, I'm like, I can build something as long as I stay strong with Jefferson, Ladd, and who else was it I have? Like the 3, I have 3. Like I think my first 3 picks were all like awesome. Puka. Jefferson, Puka, Ladd, right? I as long as I stay very strong there, like I have an avenue to like build something out. So I know that's my strength, and I could trade out of that, but I have no depth at that position either. So like I don't consider DeAndre Hopkins depth at wide receiver. I'm sorry if you believe that. I don't believe that. I do not believe that he is depth at that position. I'm gonna fucking week 8. Let's go more week 8. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's just continue to draft week 8. If we get to week 8, this entry's made money. We're good. I wanted Charbonnet there just in case the Kenneth Walker stuff is real. The cheapest of those 3 is definitely Ladd, but like they're 3 of my top 10 wide receivers. So like that's a point that, and I believe that in full PPR, wide receiver is the place that you can absolutely dominate. Now, Deebo Samuel, who is worth way, 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 way less, he's very tradable. But it is a startup league, and I understand people not wanting to get older that first year. I value him quite a bit. I don't value him more than JJ Ladd or Jefferson or Puka. Like, so, and the gap in my, because I'm assuming the way my draft went was Jefferson, Puka, and I was probably at the 10, and then Ladd, James Cook, maybe James Cook. Is it tight end premium? But like then James Cook and then Chuba, and Laporta, and then I don't know what happened. Like, it definitely looks like it went off the rails at some point. Yeah. So like Laporta's great. I thought it was. I just hadn't went and checked the settings. Well, yeah. Okay, he fell. I mean, to be honest, the team I have doesn't look bad if I can secure – like if Matt Stafford is healthy, the team I have could do work. I'm going to do the ugliest thing known to man. The ugliest thing possible here. We are taking Javonte Williams. This is like the 3rd time out of 700 drafts I've clicked this name since the draft. And I don't think I clicked him 3 times before the draft either. So that's what we got. That's what we're going to have to deal with. I got boxed out at running back really well, but my other positions look awesome. So as long as I can get the guy I want next, I do think that there's a chance. Judkins was on the board for the next pick. I wasn't going to take him because if I had 2 RBs already, I would have taken him there. We'll take Braylon Allen. So we got Jahmyr Gibbs, Javonte Williams, and Braylon Allen. We're going to take another guy like that with the next pick probably. Pickens, DJ Moore, Debo, Golden, Cup. That's a pretty strong wide receiver room, especially with the double elites and being down at quarterback. Speaking of drafters, do you think their new mini or the Superflex? I don't think their Superflex will. And I don't think their new mini will. I do think they're like they waited way too long to drop their new mini. They could have dropped that new because a lot of the people doing the mini are like they refuse to do Superflex. Like they should have released the super flex like 2 weeks before. Like when the Mini 2 came out, they should have also released the super flex. Because the super flex crowd is a lot thinner. No, absolutely no. Like I wouldn't do Jefferson or Puka straight up for Herbert. So like I value the wide receivers. Like I'm not going to overpay. Like I will suck for a year. I'm fine sucking for a year, man. Like I'm absolutely fine being bad for a year and finding a quarterback next year. It's only been open for 3 weeks. We have 2.5 more left. And when people see overlay, you're going to see people auto it. That what's going to happen is people are just going to start autoing the Superflex. Yeah, I think they waited too long on the Superflex more than the Mini. Because if the Superflex was 75% filled, it would definitely fill. And then the people who didn't want to do the main would be smashing the Mini. In regular style, like I'm willing. I moved him all the way to 92 in regulars, like the 8-9 turn. Like that's where I take him in non-eliminator now. Like I loved his talent, so there is that. Like I was already in on the talent. What RBs are here? I'm going to go ahead and take Kincaid here. Be done there as well. Oh, for the Dynasty League, I mean, pretty high. You can always send offers, but like I have 2 solid starters there. Like Judkins is the piece that I could see myself moving to get a quarterback. But if I'm going to tank, like the Judkins pick makes sense, right? Like if I'm going to trade away all my olds, keeping Judkins makes sense. I'm not so sure that Rachaad White's going to miss early in the season. A bad apple spoils the bunch. Don't let him drag you down. I hope he drags me all the way to the first pick next year, man. I'll take a quarterback next year and dominate. Like I have a very casual approach to Dynasty. I'm fine being bad for a year or two. And if I'm going to be bad, I'm going to trade away everything and then get really good. But if I have assets that are really good, like I don't think my team's dead this year. If I can if I can use my entire fab budget to get a backup quarterback when a starter goes down, I could be good. Like I do think starting a second quarterback matters, but I don't think you instantly lose for not doing it. Especially whenever you have to pick the starters. I appreciate you trying. All right, so we'll go through the team real quick. We have a 2-4-5-2. We have Josh Allen. We have Dak Prescott. We are done there. We have Gibbs, Javonte Williams, Braylon Allen, Rachaad White. Absolutely not done there. George Pickens, DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel, Matthew Golden, Cooper Kupp, Trey McBride, and Dalton Kincaid. We are done there. We are done there. This might be a 2-7-7. I think this is going to be a 2-7-7-2. That's what I think. And I mean, this team could use Nick Chubb. If I'm going to take a Javonte Williams share, it only makes sense that team also has Nick Chubb on it, right? It only makes sense. I would actually much rather have Rico Dowdle than Chubb. So we're going to pull up Rico Dowdle here. I think he's going to have a role. So with this, like my RB2 is going to be one of these guys at the beginning. I'll take 2 upside swings later in the, like probably at these 2 picks, I'll take some upside shots. Maybe I take this guy for the first time. If he makes it back around, I'm going to take JCM. If not, I think a Thornton or a McMillan. Maybe not a McMillan. I just took McMillan. And he just went. He did not go. I think I do want him. Cade can take him if he wants. But Diami Brown feels like a pretty good pick. I'm actually waiting for the answer to a trade offer I made in a wild league. So it's not a super flex league. So JC hit for the first time. It's over, bro. It's not the first time, but it's probably the first time in Eliminator. So this league, I've mentioned this league before. It's touchdown only, and the touchdowns are scaled by distance. So this league, it's 16 man, right? I have an all-star cast. I have Isaiah Pacheco, Kyron Williams as my only 2 RBs with A.J. Dillon and Ray Davis. So I'm a little thin there. But my wide receivers, Travis Hunter, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Egbuka, Tyreek Hill, my Jamison Williams, my tight end, Trey McBride, Sam Laporta, and Kelsey. Oh, I have Rashid Shaheed also. So I'm really thin there. And my quarterbacks are the strong point. It's Josh Allen, Drake May, and CJ Stroud. So, like, I desperately need just an RB, right? I offered a guy who has no quarterbacks, Josh Allen, but has 3 decent running backs. Josh Allen for Genty, straight up. Like, could I get more? Possibly. But I have Drake May and CJ Stroud. I think he's getting a slightly better deal. But I think with my team, like, I just want to try to win this year. And upgrading my Pacheco to Genty, I think, could be enough to do that. And it helps my bye week significantly. So, what do you guys think? Is that crazy? Like, it's a wild league. And with the scaled by distance thing, I do think Genty will break off some big runs. So it's 4 points per all touchdowns. Not like it's not 4 for passing. It is single quarterback. Yes, it is a single quarterback, but it's 16 teams. So like I have 3 quarterbacks, and Drake May and Allen are 2 of those. So I could probably trade Stroud away for like something like a Kenneth Walker or something. But I think I would rather just get Genty and trade away Josh Allen. And I keep the 2 quarterbacks that are under 25 years old. Like, that's kind of what I think I should do. Because Stroud is only there for, my bye weeks, basically, or injury stuff. Like my wide receivers are insane. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, Hartman. Like, why is Jarquez Hunter all the way down here? Jarquez. What's up? My mind is a weapon. Nice. I'm getting ready to be done in 1 pick as well. Thank you for popping in. I'm going to message you on Sleeper here in just a second, Sleaze, if you don't mind. Basically, I was just going to tell you, I'll send you the payment for that league tomorrow night if that's cool. Because I haven't paid the league safe yet, but I'll pay it tomorrow night. I was just going to let you know that it is happening, but I hadn't messaged you yet on that. It'll just be easier for me to do it tomorrow night than it would be today. Corum scored 2 TDs. Jarquez's career is over. Absolutely. You should stop taking them too, Hartman. The most unserious comment. I didn't see it myself, but I read a couple places that Jarquez looked very, very explosive in the joint practices today. So they're like he had some eye-popping moments. I've got 23%, and I got 25% Scattaboo, which feels bad right now, but it's like for drafters, the Scattaboo stuff is a lot worse. But for underdog, I still think he's the guy at the end of the season. I'm not going to be convinced of that until it is proven to be false. I am a believer in the talent, and until the coaches said that they were holding him out for his own good. That could just be lies. Coaches lie all the time, or don't tell the whole truth on things. So no idea what's really true, what's not. I think we could take some. We don't need any more Pat Bryant in Eliminator. I love Cavante. I'm just starting to take Cavante Turpin a lot in the last round. We have the Dak stack. So the Eliminator, we got a 2-7-7-2. We got Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Jahmyr Gibbs, Javonte Williams, because everyone took all the running backs. Then Braylon Allen, Rachaad White, Rico Dowdle. Those 4 just to try to secure the number 2 running back spot. Some upside in JCM and Hunter. Wide receivers, Pickens, DJ Moore, Debo, Golden, Cup, Diami, Cavante Turpin, and then tight end, McBride and Kincaid. All teams that have double elite look a little thin. This one does, but it could get home. As long as I can ping pong some weeks with Javonte, Braylon, Rachaad White, and Rico, that's my second Javonte share this entire summer. And I took him early, but it just felt bad. Everything about it felt bad. That pick. That pick makes me not like the entire draft, but I probably need to not be as stubborn as I am with Javonte. I still think it's Miles Sanders day one, but we will find out. But anyway, I am out. I may I probably won't be able to stream this Sunday night. I'd been streaming a lot of Sunday nights. After our co-stream, I might pop on for a little bit. Maybe not. I'll probably just wait till Monday and stream then. I also need to watch all the games. So I'll see everybody Monday, 4 p.m. Central. And then Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central, Steve and I will be going over all the preseason games and our takeaways. Thanks, everybody. Peace.